Yo, what up? How's everybody doing? How's the weekend? What's your plan tonight? What are you doing? I think I'm just gonna stay in and watch some trash TV, like MasterChef or some shit. I don't know. I don't really like TV like that, but sometimes a woman told me this recently, and it really summed it up perfectly. Sometimes trash TV just makes you feel better. Maybe that's about yourself. Maybe you feel better than those people. I don't know. That's your baggage. But for me, it just, it's so simple and not like I can just turn my brain off. It numbs my brain out. And I need that right now because I'm not feeling very good. I'm feeling kind of sick somehow in the last 7 hours or so since we recorded the show. I have gotten sick. So, yeah, but we don't stop. We don't stop for nobody. Rain, sleet, snow, sickness, health. It's kind of like marriage, I guess. I don't know about that one. Anyway, good show today. We cover all the sports today. All the sports. What does that even mean? We talk about sports, and it's fun, and I had a great time doing it, and you'll hear me talk about my voice being weird, and I think that was the onset of the sickness. So you get to hear the live sickness. It's not COVID, so I'll be okay. But thanks for your concern. If you are concerned, and maybe you're not, maybe you hate me. And, again, if you do, that's your baggage. Anyway, that's enough. Let's start the show. Much at all.
Yeah, I played last night.
All right, welcome to this episode of Stone Sports. I am your host, Bert. With me, as always, I have my co-host, Double. Say what up, Dubs.
What up, Spoons?
And my co-host, Meech. Say what up, Meech.
What up?
Yeah, didn't give you any time to react there, but you're on top of it today, Double. Good job. So, daytime recording today, boys. It's nice to be recording before like 11 o'clock at night. I'm kind of digging this. I wish we could do it all the time.
Really? Because I'm the opposite. I'd so much rather do it at night. Like when you said that today, I got that text today as I'm rolling out of bed at like 10 o'clock, and I was like, oh, I can't do it earlier. Like I can't. I wish we would have done it last night. Like that's exactly.
My thing is, it's like doing it earlier. Like I can now edit it and be done by like 9 o'clock instead of like 4 a.m.
You could have just edited the show this morning when your happy ass was awake.
Yeah, I was shockingly awake earlier today.
I couldn't believe you were the first.
I was shocked. Yeah, I was shocked you were the first person to message. I checked the group chat at like 3 o'clock to be like, "Oh, are we like alive?" And I realized I was the last person to answer. Wow, I am fucking
real
first
piece
time
of shit
for everything.
Well, this is going to be a fun show because for some reason in the last like 30 minutes, my voice has gone. It's like I swallowed like hot fire.
He's going through puberty.
Yeah, again. I don't know what's happening, but like
you gotta spit the pussy juice out, Birdie.
No, it tastes good.
Jump right in.
Yeah, we're just going right into
dive on in.
The water's warm.
All right, so let's stick to formula here and start with the NBA news. So take it away, boys.
So Harden debuted with the Nets. His happy ass was smiling, cheering on his teammates, looking like a whole new James Harden. He had a 30-point triple-double.
40 pounds lighter.
Yeah. The fuck was that shit?
I put it on Twitter.
Camera angles? I don't understand.
This guy, this is the fat man's secret. As a fat man myself, someone who's chunky, you wear black. It takes like 20 to 30 pounds off.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
But they weren't wearing black.
No, he was in the warm-ups, though. He was wearing black. And I was like, well, now we know why he wanted out of Houston, because they don't have black unis there. And then, ironically, as they took the floor, they very similar to the Rockets, like shitty blue jerseys. But warm-ups, he was looking real slim.
Yeah, not going to lie, it was a little scary for me being in their division. I was like, oh.
I mean, I told you that. He popped out. He popped off for a double-double in his debut. Him and Durant combined for 75 points. And I told you, I said, listen, I know Kyrie's crazy, Harden is a great scorer, and so is Durant. Like, they might not have a big three that everyone's propping up. They for sure have a bona fide two, though. Like, those two are both monsters when it comes to scoring. So
we'll see if Harden stays happy, but that, I'm not gonna lie, it was a little scary for me.
I mean, he was happy his whole time in Houston. So I mean, the only time he wasn't happy is the last like 5 months.
That's true.
So it's not like he's not like Kyrie where he's been unhappy at every single stop.
Little fucking bitch.
Yeah, Kyrie is something else. Cal.
Yeah, I was literally about to say Cal. Please, let's use the proper nomenclature.
Yeah.
I still haven't found the burner yet. Karl Anthony Towns tested positive for COVID. Hope he's okay because he's had like 5 people die in his family.
11.
11? That's way more than I thought it was.
You know, it might be 11 that got it and not died. Sorry. I might be, but 11 people have at least gotten COVID.
And I know several have died.
His mom and like I think his brother died.
Yeah, dude, COVID's no fucking joke, man.
Yeah, so yeah, you got to feel bad for Cat. He has COVID, and I mean, he was one of the first athletes, like way back when, like take this seriously, guys. My mom just died. Like, like holy shit, like
that was like what, May, June? That was a while ago.
It was shortly after they shut it down. Like I think it was shortly after like the Rudy Gobert thing. At least like in my timeline, it might have been a little bit more after that. In my timeline, I remember it happening.
It's hard to keep everything straight, man, because like somebody said to me
the
last
other day,
like
year is just a blur.
Yeah, like somebody said to me the other day, the last like 9 months have felt like 9 years, and it's like somewhat true, man. Like I look back and be like, holy shit, that was 6 months ago.
You feel like 9 years, but you couldn't tell me what the fuck you did in the last 9 months.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? It's felt like a fucking ages.
Well, because no one's doing anything.
Yeah, I was about to say, I literally don't do anything.
About getting fatter.
Yeah, I literally do nothing every day. I like work, and then I go work out, and then I come home and watch TV or do the podcast with you guys. It's literally like all I do every week.
Yeah. Sure, a lot of people are in the same boat.
Yeah, right.
But I mean, at least we're all like living and okay. Like,
exactly. I don't mean to sound ungrateful. I don't mean to sound ungrateful.
Yeah, like so many people have been greatly impacted by this, and by greatly, I mean negatively. Greatly impacted.
I know what you mean.
A severe impact that it's had on so many people losing their jobs, losing their homes, losing family members. Like it's a nightmare.
And the three of us have been blessed in that regard that we haven't
and
had
I think
exactly.
all of the athletes and stuff say that too, and like it's been hard for them because it's different than what they're usually. I don't think that they're meaning to trivialize, how its real impact it's had on real people. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I don't think they have either. I think like I think the difficult part for them probably is like, having to stay in bubbles and like not being able to see their family and stuff, which is probably difficult, man. But could be worse, I guess.
You could have a mass on your kidney like Karis LeVert.
Ooh, yeah. Oof. Everyone praised them for that part of the deal, and then in his physical, they found that.
Yeah, you got to be pissed if you're Indiana.
You do and you don't. I mean, I think that's still a good move for them. They're still going to get someone, even if he doesn't play next year, they have a chance to get someone who was going to leave anyway. Like,
that's fair.
Oladipo was going to leave. So they get Karis LeVert, who
plays similar,
signed at least through next year and would probably re-sign there if the money's right.
And he plays very similar to Oladipo. So it's not like you're losing and have to build your team around a completely different thing.
Yeah,
exactly.
Right.
And I mean, we might see some loyalty between the team and the player. I know we've seen some of that in the past when instances like this happen, where someone gets signed for an extra year. We saw that with the Padres and Mike Clevenger. Yes, Clevenger. Who had to undergo Tommy John surgery at the end of last year. They traded for him knowing that it was a problem. They accepted the trade anyway, and then shortly thereafter, it's announced he would do it. They still have an additional year to have him in the organization. So I think sometimes that builds goodwill between the organization and the player.
For sure. Who's not building any goodwill? Kyrie.
Oof.
Missed another 2 games since being fined for breaking league health protocol. And he's just...
Well, I mean, now he has to, right? Because I think they have like a 7-day quarantine or something like that.
Yeah,
so
right?
I think it fell under that for the first game, and now the second today, he's just sitting out.
Oh, okay. Well,
But,
he probably has
some
important Skype meetings to sit in on.
Yeah, he's got to go talk to DAs and film fucking Sprite commercials. Last thing with the NBA there, the Lakers and the Bucks leading the power rankings. Real no surprise there.
No, I mean,
at all.
Both are atop their respective divisions too. So I don't think anyone's surprised. We've seen minutes dump offs for LeBron, but it's not taking off whole games. It's taking off parts of games. We're seeing the same thing with the Bucks and the Greek Freak. He's playing less minutes than he traditionally does as well. So they're
real quick.
Yeah,
it was kind of a while ago now, but you see that 3 LeBron hit maybe a week or two ago.
Yes.
Did the Curry?
Yeah, it was awesome. It was pretty sweet.
It even made me smile.
Yeah, exactly.
I was like, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's what I said. I was like, disgusting. I'll give it up for that. That's pretty lit. How's Obi Toppin doing?
Toppin, ain't no stopping Obi Toppin, but there's plenty stopping the Knicks.
but there
is. They did beat us the other day, though, but we had no Jason Tatum and shit.
Yeah, but after winning like 4 or 5 straight, I think they then proceed to lose 4 or 5 straight.
Yeah, they lost. They won 1, then lost 5, and then they beat us yesterday.
Yeah,
but Toppin looked really good in our game yesterday. He showed flashes of what he could be. Him and Emmanuel Quickly were great picks, and they should build around that for the future.
Yeah, wouldn't count on that being the Knicks.
Yeah, exactly. But we'll see.
So what's going on in baseball, boys?
My boy Theo.
Theo, the highly coveted front office person, signed with a team. That team is the MLB.
And I don't think he's going to be there that long, Meech, do you? I feel like he wasn't going to get an offer this year, and this is just a stepping stone for what he wants to do.
I mean, well, it's interesting because you see that he wanted to, like Billy Bean, kind of get more into ownership, stuff like that.
Right.
This is kind of a step in that direction. Very unpopular Commissioner Rob Manfred. So we'll see what happens there. Theo might get the job. I mean, I think that would be amazing for baseball.
Baseball
too, needs to get younger.
That would be crazy.
And I was hoping that we would see more stuff like the Nickelodeon broadcast, but for baseball. And we just haven't seen any innovation, any answers really. And the only thing that was super popular last year, the universal DH, they're thinking about getting rid of this year. So it's just like he's making not really great decisions. And even after Bud Selig was gone, I was hoping that they went younger. They turned around and hired Manfred, who's an old white guy. Not really what I wanted. I wanted someone younger, someone maybe from a different background. I wanted a different view and youth injected into the MLB, and we didn't get that at all. Hopefully Epstein will transition to that at some point. As of now, he's just a what do you call it? Fucking assistant too, I guess.
Assistant to the regional manager.
Basically, his actual title is a consultant regarding on-field matters.
Yeah. So assistant to the fucking.
You got it. You
can get there. You can get there.
Why can I not think of words today?
We believe you.
There you go. Jesus Christ! I took a tiny hit right before the episode. I've not been smoking as much. I took a tiny hit right before the episode, and all of a sudden I can't remember.
Meech the Martian is back.
Seconds ago.
Space Cadet.
Any other baseball news you boys want to talk about?
Yankees are making moves. They signed DJ LeMahieu, or re-signed DJ LeMahieu, and they went after former Cy Young Corey Kluber which Yankees fans treated as a Cy Young signing, and it's not because he hasn't had a good season in 3 years.
He's also older, but he's still a good get for that. They desperately need pitching there. He's at least someone who has that in their DNA. So whether he shows some of that there, we don't know. The jury's still out. He's been plagued with injuries the last couple years, and therefore hasn't really panned out. So we'll see what he does. But since his Cy Young, I think he had one good year after the Cy Young, and since then he's just been plagued with injuries. So it's not as big of a signing as Yanks fans are making it.
2018 was his last decent season.
Yeah, but they do get LeMahieu back. Huge bat, probably one of the bigger free agents this offseason. And it's funny because about 2 to 3 days ago, I'm guessing he had his agent leak that they were going to start exploring other options to get the Yankees moving on that deal, right?
Yeah, I think you're 100% right there.
Yeah, both sides seem to love each other. It's match made in heaven. The only other
player I don't like and a team I don't like. So yeah, match made in heaven.
How do you not like him as a player?
I don't know. He just doesn't do it for me.
Yeah,
he doesn't do it for me.
Like, how can you say that?
He does have kind of that
I just look at him and I'm
face.
That was literally my next question. Is it a face thing?
Is it his face?
It kind of is. It's just I look at him and just go meh.
I get that. I have the same thing with other players in other sports. Like
Meech said, it's just a perfect match. He should be on the Yankees. I look at him and I go, man,
yeah,
those people should be Yankees.
I agree with you 100%. Like, what's the guy's name? Brock Nelson on the Islanders. I fucking hate that dude's face.
I feel like you don't even see their faces in hockey, though.
No, you do. You do.
Dude, one of the Devils players was interviewed at one of the period intermissions on the Bruins broadcast the other day, and you could tell he did not want a camera in his face, for anything. His eyes were going everywhere. His face just looked so uncomfortable.
It's like having a heart attack. His nervousness from public speaking. I didn't want to do this.
It's so funny watching those guys do interviews too.
Heel sketch where they're just sweating, talking about the computer history.
Yeah,
it was that.
It's so funny when you watch those guys in interviews too, in any sport. Because I'll just use the hockey equivalent, but they all have the same sayings. They'll all be we just got to get pucks deep, and we got to go out and we got to give more of an effort.
Cycle the puck.
We got to cycle the
shots on net.
Yeah, we got to get pucks deep, shots on net. We got to play physical, big body hockey, and then they just be like, "All right, thanks," and they walk out. And it's the same in every sport. It's just the terminology changes. There's always they got to give 110% speech.
Sports interview. Have such cliche. Rich Eisen calls coach speak. We're just going to talk about the players that are here. Whenever someone's holding out or whatever, right. I'm talking about the players that are here on this team right now. Sports is littered with that. I feel like there's so many generic terms.
Absolutely. It's why I love Torts. Because he was just off the wall. He was the best, man. We talked about
bouncing back to the NBA for a second. Did you guys see the Greg Popovich interview?
Popovich? What the fuck did you just say?
Greg Popovich? Popovich. Whatever. I call him Papa. I've done that.
Popovich.
Popovich.
Not
so much. But I don't see
just said not so much.
With a title the last couple.
Not
of years.
Anymore, but
yeah. Yeah, it's funny. You take 3 Hall of Famers off the team. Oh. No, but did you see that interview?
No, what happened?
No, I didn't.
So a couple of days ago,
interviews are always fucking gold mines,
right? Usually. So the guy from NBA TV, I don't know who it was, probably Greg Anthony or something like that. Anyways, it was an NBA TV personality, and they go, "Coach, what do you want to talk about?" And he starts saying something, and then the guy who goes, "Oh man, I can't wait for dinner tonight." He goes, "You get to go out for dinner? I have to take that shit back to my hotel room." But you actually saw some personality from Popovich.
Jesus Christ.
From Popovich, and it was a great interview. I tweeted it out. It was amazing.
I'm gonna tweet out Popovich.
I'm gonna tweet out Popovich.
Popovich.
Bertie, by the way, I Googled Brock Nelson. He would beat the shit out of me, but I want to punch him so bad.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, no, I mean, well, that's the thing about like any hockey player. Like, if you allow them to stay on their feet, they will beat the living fuck out of you. But yeah, some of them just have these faces, dude.
Dude, his face,
like Braden Point from the Lightning. Oh my god, like he looks like the kind of guy who'd like, I don't know, like give you a tour of his frat house and like you'd walk into his room, there'd be like 10 girls in the room, and he'd be like, "Sup, ladies? Anyway, this is my bathroom."
There'd be like 5 fucking empty 30 racks of Bud Light.
Oh my god, I can't.
Coming from the ultimate brosif himself, double. Like, are you kidding me? Your friends' names are like Brock, Stevie, John.
Literally not one of them.
Chad. Like, you have I've never met someone who's more like I in real life would be like, you are such a douchebag. And now we're buddies, I guess. But you are the ultimate, like, brosif.
I don't know if he's the ultimate bro. He just might have bro friends.
I don't have a lift kit on my fucking truck.
Yeah, it's not murdered out, bro.
Yeah.
No, would you if you could afford it? Would you have one? That's
I don't even have a fucking truck, dude. I'm good.
All right. Well, anything else in the MLB?
The only other thing, there were some super close arbitration hearings, and for those less familiar with the MLB arbitration, you own a player's rights for 7 years after calling them up, and then you have to negotiate them after, I think, year 4. So it's slotted before that, and then afterwards you have to negotiate them. Some of the differences that were not agreed upon, Carlos Correa, poster child for the Astros, the cheating pieces of shit, asked for $12.75 million. They offered him $9.75 million. A drastic difference. Usually you see about $1 million difference, but there are certain cases like Walker Texas Ranger for my Dodgers, asked for 4.15, and the team suggested 3.3. Just pay the man his money. This guy started game 1 for you in the postseason, and you're not going to give him the extra mil. Just pay this man his money.
Pay this man.
But yeah, there were a couple of those that I saw that I was just like, really, guys? We can't deal on this? So
yeah, I mean, do you think maybe COVID has something to do with that? You know, because you look at the NHL and they've got like the division sponsors and shit. And I was like, at first I was like, that's whack as fuck. And then I was like, well, actually, okay, they're probably being heavily impacted by COVID, and they're probably trying to come up with some way to keep the cap from shrinking. So, like, I can respect that. But I don't know. Just a thought. Like, that could be something to do with COVID. I don't know.
Much to deal with that. But usually teams get their arbitration locked up. They don't usually go to hearings.
Right. Yeah.
But some of these differences are, like, minor. I mean, like, minor. And you're just like Ohtani. He asked for 3.3. They offered 2.5. You already got him on a bargain.
Ohtani's son.
Pay the man his money.
Yeah, I'm with you. That, I mean, what's that, like $800,000 really?
Yeah, it's literally. So I don't think it's really the COVID thing. I just think they're being a little bit cheaper with people they already know are under contract for the next year.
Right.
800,000 is what James Harden blows at a strip club on a fucking daily basis.
Yeah, and
I was
gonna say New Jersey. I guess they're not New Jersey Nets anymore, right? They're Brooklyn Nets. But I was gonna say strippers in Brooklyn are rejoicing everywhere.
They're still New Jersey. Fuck that. They're New Jersey.
Barstool posted that there's a bunch of girls partying on a fucking meme.
Oh yeah, I saw it.
Every stripper from New York to Canada.
Yeah. Other than that, I didn't really have anything else on the MLB though.
All right. What about some NFL coach hiring and signing and all that business?
Well, we got a lot. The Lions hired the Saints assistant Dan Campbell last night.
Good move.
Bad move. Said he was highly touted. I had never heard of him.
Never heard of him either. He's apparently the assistant coach / tight ends coach there. Apparently, he's very well regarded. I've never heard his name.
Never
before,
heard it one
apparently,
time.
Everyone's saying that's a great hire. It won't become official till next Wednesday or till Wednesday or Thursday this week, I guess, because he wants to stay and conduct exit interviews with his current Saints players. So that's kind of crazy right there. Like, you're just like, Wait, what?
He's like, no, hold on. I got to wrap some shit up here. for the season I won't be a part of next year. Like, I don't know. Falcons hired Arthur Smith, the Titans offensive coordinator. We talked about it a little bit yesterday, Meech. Their run game has been lacking, and if they plan to keep Matt Ryan, they probably want Arthur Smith to revamp the run game in Atlanta.
That was my take on the situation. They haven't had a run game since Devonta Smith, I believe. Might be Devontae. I don't know. Since
I don't
Devontae
trust you
and
after the
Coleman,
Popovich situation on names.
It's one of those.
Talking about Devontae Freeman?
Oh, is it Freeman? Is Smith the Alabama wide receiver?
Yes.
Is that the problem? Okay. Like you said, there's like 15 Devontaes right now. And then my Madden running back is Levante. So like there's so many names in my head right now.
No, you're all good. You're all good, bro. It's all good. No troubles, bro.
But yeah, no, they haven't had a big run game. We saw an explosion under both run and passing stats for the Titans offense. So I think it's a good hire for them. I mean, they got a guy who can build an offense. They went defense last time with Dan Quinn. It worked out for a little while there. They were competitive for a while there, and then they kept losing offensive coordinators.
Seems like teams do that. They go offensive coach, then defensive coach, then offensive coach.
Yeah, and it really kind of just depends on your organization, I feel like. But it's harder if you're a defensive guy because you'll lose your offensive coordinator, seemingly. But we'll see. I mean, a couple teams went defense, so
the Jets were one of them.
The what?
The Jets were one of them.
Oh, yeah. The Jets hired Saleh. He's apparently bringing over Matt LaFleur's brother, Mike LaFleur. So they'll be running the Shanahan offensive system there as well. But, yeah, he is a defensive head coach. Nothing but great things heard about him either. That's I think, a slam dunk hire. You do have a young quarterback that needs some development, but you have an OC that you're bringing in that has a proven system of making it easy on the quarterback for sure. Definitely relies heavier on running in that system. And then he's done well everywhere he's been. Saleh.
He's been great.
Yeah, and his players love him. Like, I think that's who you need in that locker room. I think that was a great hire.
I think Saleh's going to be what they wanted the Todd Bowles hiring to be.
I don't even think Todd Bowles is that bad.
He wasn't, but they had no.
Like, his players played for him.
He did, but they couldn't draft for shit. Which is
but that's
Jets.
Not his fault.
It's typical Jets. Which again, they just couldn't surround him with talent. I think Todd Bowles should get another crack somewhere.
Well, we're interviewing him, so there's that. We will be interviewing him.
But you've been interviewing Josh McDaniels for the most part.
Oh my god,
my boy.
So Dable didn't even want an interview with us, and
he's like, "Fuck that shit, I'm good."
I predicted this after we fired a guy that won the Super Bowl 3 years ago. Coaches aren't going to want to come here. Like, why would you want to come here?
No.
So Dable didn't even want to interview. We don't have an interview with Bieniemy scheduled, so we're off to a good start there. We're expected to interview Todd Bowles this week, made with the Skype hearings that they can now interview over Skype this weekend, which usually they can't. Josh McDaniels has also been interviewed. He's out of the playoffs, so no shocker there. I can't stand this man. I do not want him in my.
I don't think you needed to slide that in.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I did.
I don't think you did.
I did. But this guy's on a Chase Lounge. Oh no. No, but Josh McDaniels, I don't want him in my building. I don't like him as a coach. I don't like him as a coordinator, really. I don't think he's impressive. I think he benefited from the greatest quarterback of all time.
That's
honestly.
100%. But if you do sign him, just wait. You're going to be running trick plays, bubble screens, and third and long. You're just going to run halfback draws.
Yeah, he took over from Mike Shanahan in Denver, went 8-8 with Shanahan's team. The next season, when he had control of the franchise, 3-9, was ousted early. Then we know that he basically just took an offer and then ripped up the contract with the Colts, who then took my offensive coordinator, which I'm still a little bit mad about.
I could
because
tell.
we haven't looked the same since Reich left. But I don't want him in the building. We're also supposed to, I think we either already did or we're supposed to interview Joe Brady. He or Bowles is who I would want, because I do not want McDaniels at all.
All right. Well, another epic Eagles rant from Meech. That was dope.
And we'll cap it off here with your team, Bernie. You guys got a new head coach. Chargers signed Brandon Staley, the Rams DC. Rams defense has been great for a while now. They're hoping that will rub off. But you would think they would get somebody for not Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert.
Yeah.
The Air Bear.
The Air Bear. The Air Bear. Yeah. I mean, first of all, not my team. I do like that team. But, I mean...
You killed yourself when you suggested that they would be your second team when we did that little game last week.
They would. It's fine. Yourself. I knew what I did. I did it on purpose. I knew full well what I was getting into. I think that's actually probably a good play for them, though, because like Meech, like we've all stated it on the show, their offense has weapons. Like they can do the work offensively, but their defense is just garbage most of the time.
It's not, though. Their defense has weapons too. They just can't stay healthy.
That's true.
I'm gonna get killed for the other lineman's name. I want to say Melvin Gordon. That's not right.
Jesus Christ, Meech. Melvin Ingram.
That's what it is. Okay, Melvin Ingram, Bosa. I don't even know if that's actually Joey or his brother there either. I don't know.
Joey.
Is that Joey? Okay, I didn't know. And then Derwin James, I knew that name, right? He's been injured the last 2 years.
Because I have him in Madden. I talk about constantly.
He was also heavily featured in Hard Knocks this offseason, so don't flatter yourself there, bud. But no, so they have talent on defense, and maybe hiring him is a way of bringing that talent together and getting them to work together.
Yeah,
but it's weird. It's a weird hire. I think when you have that young of a quarterback, I think it's a weird hire.
Yeah, it is. But I mean, like, what was it we were saying at the beginning of the season? Didn't they give up 4 straight 17-point leads? You know, I mean that's pretty
that's
tough.
Just what they do.
Yeah, I know, and I don't know. I kind of like it. It's like outside the box thinking, and I'm kind of always here for that. You know,
I mean, you like blowing 17-point leads. I was like, that's fitting coming from Rangers and Mets fan.
Okay, well, all right, let's get into this. Let's look at the goal differentials because Boston's sitting at a 0 and New York is sitting at a +1. So do me a favor, shut the fuck up real quick.
But we're not last like you guys were.
We're not last. As a matter of fact, we're 1 point behind you in the standings, motherfucker. We are 1 point behind you in the standings.
Still behind.
Are you a 0 for goal differential? Did you lose to the Devils last night? Did that happen?
After we beat them, we lost in overtime.
In a shootout
we
loss.
Get beat 4-0.
You beat them in a shootout. It took you a shootout.
And then we lost in overtime.
We lost to the Islanders first game, but then came out and stomped them 5-0. So do me a favor, take a step back, and literally fuck your own face. Sorry, I had to do a Tropic Thunder.
Anyway, reference. I mean, you say it's
what's his name? Les.
I can't remember his name, man.
Fuck, dude, it's the best.
It's Tom Cruise's best role of all time.
It's the best. I watched that, just like his best moments from that movie, like every 3 months, probably.
It's so good. Sorry, Meech. What were you gonna say, man?
I was gonna say you were saying it was out of the box, but people keep hiring McVay assistants, so I don't know exactly how out of the box.
Yeah, fair enough. That's true. All right, well, you boys want to recap some games?
So we'll see that. Well, real quick, Texans planning to interview Eric Bieniemy. They had previously not done that. Like we said, the league allowed them to do so via Skype now, with people that are still even in the playoffs. So they have an interview set up for today with Bieniemy, and they will be interviewing Leslie Frazier, the Bills D coordinator, shortly as well. So we'll see. They have a situation down there. And I wouldn't
have a situation.
Yeah, Houston, they have a situation because Deshaun Watson is reportedly unhappy. But I would not trade this man for literally less than 2 1s and 2 2s. Like, that's the starting point, honestly. This guy is 25. He's a top 5 quarterback. He just came off of his best season.
With no weapons.
I mean, he has weapons. I mean, to say no weapons is a little ridiculous, but no running back to speak of, really.
I don't know
what the fuck happened to my voice.
Running back. No running back.
I didn't realize this was a Packers podcast.
Right? Yeah.
I
don't know, because
so I would not trade him unless you get a king's ransom for him because, and we've seen it with all the quarterbacks in the league, they're the most protected position and they're staying around longer than ever. You just had a 43-year-old and a 42-year-old play against each other. So,
but one looked 42 and one didn't look 43.
Yeah, I know. That was sad to watch. And I hope he just calls it a career because I think he's done. And he can retire kind of still on top right now.
He's gotta, dude. Like that had to be the last game. Like it just did. Like Sked asked me today, he's like, you think he's gonna retire? I was like, he fucking has to.
You have to.
Like he has to.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, we'll see. He said he was going to take some time in the press interview afterwards. He does have a job at CBS waiting for him, which is weird because Fox broke the news that it was probably his last game. So Jay Glazer broke that news on Fox, and he has a gig with, is it NBC? I think it's NBC, not CBS. I'm sorry.
It is NBC.
Yeah, lined up. So he has a job waiting for him lined up, but it's hard to walk away, especially when you're right there. But I honestly think he might be a weak link to this team, as we saw this weekend.
It really was.
All right, so we're going to recap some games. Is that the game plan now?
For sure.
For sure. Nice. All right, so here's the thing, guys. All right. So I actually didn't watch the Rams-Packers game or the Ravens-Bills game, which I was really looking forward to.
So I missed the Rams-Packers because I was at work, but I saw the other three.
Yeah, I got there's this band that I told them I would produce their record for them, and they're like, we have to do it today. So I had to go down and twist knobs and push faders all fucking day.
It must be today.
That's why you don't help people right there.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. That's why you don't help people. It's true.
That's why you don't get a truck, because you have to help people move.
Yep, absolutely right.
No, it's always in the shop.
So, Meech, you're going to have to kind of carry the torch on these first two games.
And if it's a Ford, they'll really believe you. Ayo! Yeah, so Rams-Packers was actually a pretty good game. It was fun to watch. The Packers won. They covered the spread. Woo woo. People were saying it was a snow game. It was not.
It wasn't.
There was not snow on the field, and we got cheated out of 2 snow games, by the way, this weekend. This one,
it was a little bullshit, dude. I was super excited to see some snow games, especially a snow game in Lambeau.
Right?
We got fucking cheated.
Yeah, we sure did. It was snowing, but very lightly, and there was not a.
It was a flurry
drop on the field, but that probably wouldn't be the right analogy. There was not a flake on the field. There we go. Yeah, snow was falling.
Fucking Rams flaked.
What?
So the Rams flaked.
Yeah. Both teams look good running the ball. Cam Akers actually had a really good game on the ground for the Rams. But Green Bay looks for real, and Aaron Rodgers is just a goddamn assassin, dude. He saw a couple players switching off the field, calls a play, hits a huge play on a free play. And, it's stuff like that makes him one of the best. I mean, probably the best playing right now. He's a little bit more heady, I think, than Patty Mahomes. But Mahomes is, younger and can do stuff that's crazy as well. But, it's that kind of stuff where you're just like, good God. I have to count with my fingers every time I count, past 5. This guy counts to 11 real quick every fucking time.
Yeah, so, it's high football crazy. IQ.
Yeah,
for sure, man.
Super good. There were a couple. So the Rams just didn't get home against them really. I think they had
didn't.
No, this offensive line, which is missing one of the best left tackles in football, David Bakhtiari. We talked about that last week. How they lost him going in. They kept Aaron Rodgers really clean. I mean, they just could not get home at all to him.
Aaron Donald only 1 tackle.
Yeah, and Aaron Donald was not full speed for sure.
No, definitely not.
Yeah, you could tell he was laboring, and I think it showed in frustration. He had a personal foul penalty where he grabbed the mask of the guy that was covering him, the left guard or something like that, and cost them 15 yards. But I think it was just frustration. You saw him get emotional after the game, and I think it's so tough to have the number 1 defense, and you're widely considered the best player in football on the defense. And you get to the end season. This is everything you've worked for, and you can't play your best, and it's got to be frustrating.
For sure.
The fans, we had fans though, so we didn't have snow. We did have fans. They were loud and caused like I meant to look up the number, but they had to have caused the Rams like 5 false starts.
They were in the Rams' fucking head. They had beachfront property.
Yeah, huge. Yeah, huge.
You talked about the home field advantage there a bunch, and the fans made it that much worse for the Rams.
Yeah, they have a built-in home field advantage, but the fans just killed. Like it was crazy how loud that fan base was. And same for Buffalo. Like these two teams really did well. But yeah, I think it all has to come down to offensive line play, and that is one of the most important parts. They did not allow a sack to the Rams defense and kept scheming open plays for their receivers to get open. Several plays for Devontae Adams to beat Jalen Ramsey, one of which was in the red zone. He motions to one side of the formation, then comes back across the other side, and they throw it right to him. And I was just thinking, that's a genius offensive scheme. When you can scheme your guys open, we hear it so much, but we don't see it. Like, if Ramsey's covering someone, they just don't have a big day. And we saw Matt LaFleur scheme around that.
And Devontae Adams called for that smoke, and he made Ramsey pay.
Yeah. Well, he's not just some other guy.
No, he's not.
Did you see him say that?
Yeah.
I'm not just some other guy, bro. Yeah, it was a great game. It was a great game. After the game, Goff might not be their quarterback next year. They owe him a huge amount of money. I don't know why they signed that deal. And before Carson Wentz blew up, he was the one everyone was like, ooh, I don't know why you signed that deal.
Yeah, it was a huge deal after the Super Bowl they lost to us, and it was like, why? He had not proven anything.
Yeah. Yeah, you hold the Patriots to 13 points in the Super Bowl, and you think you're going to win that. They did not.
No.
So,
and Goff got shut down all fucking game like he does 75% of the time.
Yeah, I've been saying all season watching him, I don't see why you would move forward with him. It's just like a lack of
because of the monetary funds.
Yeah, no, I don't. That aside, I mean, like, especially with the way you can restructure football contracts, like it's just like
not his.
What's the
not his?
Yeah, not his.
What's the word?
Quarterbacks you cannot restructure those contracts. $20 million guaranteed, and then $20 million cap hit. So they're on the books for $40 million for him next year.
It's consistency. It's like a lack of consistency. That's the word I'm looking for. Like, I guess that's the best word I can come up with. It's like
in
some
the way
games
he plays.
Yeah, like some games you see him and you're like, okay, he looks good, and then some games you're like, Jesus Christ, that's terrible, dude.
Yeah, no, for sure.
This will transition me into a question for you guys. We just kind of talked about it a little bit. What do the Rams need to do in the offseason to come back and make another run? Because their defense is phenomenal.
Yeah, defense is obviously not the problem.
Yeah, right. So what do you need to do on offense? Is it the line? Do you get a new quarterback like we just talked about? Do they need more weapons?
I mean, I think their line's decent.
Yeah,
their weapons are great. Yeah. I mean, they have Woods, they have Cooper Kupp, they have Tyler Higbee, they have
Akers at running back came along this season.
Akers really provided what this team has been missing, which is giving the quarterback play action, big plays. Because if there's no threat of a run game, you're not going to bite on a play action. And that's what McVay's offense is based on. Cam Akers gave this team that for sure. But their offensive line is decent. It's a little old. I mean, you have Whitworth, the left tackle. He was deciding if he was even going to come into this season. So we'll see if he comes back next season. But they're right there. I honestly think it's the quarterback. It's a quarterback issue. And, I mean, I think you saw the same thing in San Francisco.
I also agree.
I think that's a quarterback issue too.
Yeah. What about the Ravens and the Bills game, Meech? How was that game?
Yeah,
Ravens lost.
Another great game. Yeah, and I called it. I just thought that the Bills would find a way. The good thing about hiring a defensive coach, and we've seen it, another pick from the Andy Reid tree here, with
McDermott.
Yeah, is you can scheme ways to shut down a certain opponent, and that's exactly what the Bills did. They looked great against the Ravens. And then that offense has been working all year. It got off to a little bit of a slow start. They just didn't run the ball in the first half. And I know that Brian Daboll's a big candidate, although I don't know if he takes a job. There's only 2 left, and he didn't even want to interview for one of them.
Right.
So, we'll see. He might just stay there another year, which, I mean, someone said, why wouldn't you just wait till next year? And I'm thinking, because good teams don't fire their coaches. I mean, there are always going to be bad teams that fire coaches. Like you're never going to have great teams hiring coaches. You're just not.
No.
But we'll see.
The Patriots, Steelers, Ravens, like they've all had the same coach forever.
Yeah. So, yeah, we'll see. But yeah, like I said, this game, the crowd made a huge difference as well. Also, a fraud snow game. We were promised snow, and we did not get the goddamn snow that we were promised. But the Bills Mafia showed up big time for the Bills. It was super loud in that building as well. Also caused false starts from the Ravens in this game. So we saw
playing with the crowd all season, and then you come in a playoff atmosphere.
Well, it was kind of shocking because all season I feel like teams had false start problems. And I couldn't tell why because there were no fans. So I didn't know if it was just the silence. I mean, I don't know. But we saw them have big problems both for the Rams and the Ravens in these respective games because the crowd made a huge difference.
For sure.
So first half was a defensive struggle, and then second half the Bills came out firing.
Is what I wrote it down.
Yeah, it was a slog. I love that term, dude. A slog. But the Bills started running in the second half. And they looked better. They made a couple huge plays, and then they made a huge play on defense, which was a pick six, and that changed the whole game. They were able
once that pick six happened, it was game over. Yeah,
the pick six, touchdown, game over. So we'll see. Lamar Jackson left with a concussion. So we'll see how he comes back from that next year. But this is the problem with having a super mobile quarterback is you're gonna get hit, and it's a threat every time you go with a mobile quarterback.
Yeah, neither team's offense was really stood out in this one. It was a defensive slog, like we said, and Lamar left with a concussion. The Ravens need to do something in the offseason to make a move because this is three playoffs and now they've been knocked out of before the conference championship with what people call as a top 5 quarterback. So
I mean, I don't know if it's his fault, honestly.
It's not his fault. That's what I'm saying. They need to do something.
Yeah, we'll see what they do. I mean, it's hard to fix a team that continues to get to the playoffs.
Right.
It's sometimes you start adjusting stuff and that actually kills you. Also a low-scoring game because both kickers were missing field goals. Both good kickers.
Justin Tucker
missed 2.
2, and he missed one the week before.
Yeah, but the wind played a factor, which the wind was bad there, and that might have hindered the offense there as well.
You just don't see Justin Tucker miss.
You don't. Well, and the Bills kicker, I don't even know his name, but he's been good for them this year too.
I couldn't tell you his name either.
Yeah. Me neither.
They drafted him. I know that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, how about the Browns-Chiefs game? You got to feel bad for the Browns, dude. Like, first of all right, before we really get into it.
You do and you don't.
Can we talk about the touchback? Can we talk about the touchback? Like, that rule, needs to be changed, dude. Like, it's, like, the most ridiculous thing that, like, it's also not reviewable. Like, that's
and it was
so
a helmet
fucking absurd. That's what I'm saying. That's why it needs to be reviewable, because it's just like, that was like straight helmet to helmet. Like, I know we had an argument about, the last one we talked about, but that one, like, there's no arguing. Like, it just, like, it was bad. And it's
if you didn't see the play, the Browns hit a pass on the right side, got down to the end zone, and the Chiefs safety, Mitch Sorensen, came flying in with a helmet to helmet. Browns player, I think it was Higgins.
Yeah, I think it was, yeah.
Fumbled into the end zone, and it was a touchback.
Through the end zone.
Through the end zone, sorry.
The key words there.
Yes, through the end zone. out the back, and the Chiefs get the ball on the 25-yard line.
Which is really the most ridiculous part about the rule. Like, they should just get the ball back on the 20. Like, I don't understand, like, why it is that they get the ball now. Like, that's kind of nonsense because they don't recover it. You know what I mean? Like, if they recover it, that's one thing, but they didn't recover the ball. You know, like, that's fucked up,
one
man.
of the few rules that actually favors the defense, and everyone hates it. Well, anyone that's smart hates it. Anyone that says stop bitching about it, you're just stupid. It's a stupid rule.
It is a dumbass rule.
And one of the analysts on the NFL Network said, like, the most severe penalty is a 20-yard penalty. Just have that component of it. Just make it a 20-yard penalty, because that would be the most severe penalty that you could get in the game, other than
and still keep the ball.
And still keep the ball. And it would still reward the defense. I mean, getting pushed back. Is a big deal. So
especially 20 yards. That's crazy.
Yeah, 20 yards.
You imagine if that's on third down. Like, that's basically the drive gone.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's a bad rule, but I didn't feel bad for the Browns at all. I mean, I said that they would not have luck like they had last week against
They
the
almost fucking did.
And they did. They did, because Patty Mahomes left the game and they didn't capitalize.
No, they didn't.
They had the chance. They let up that fucking third down run to Chad Henne, of all people.
Yep.
And then Andy Reid, with the ballsiest play call of his career, goes out there and gets the fucking win. Love to see it.
Yeah, and I miss this man more and more every week, and every time I see him, and it's not going to be good for me because he's going to be a Chiefs coach for 40 years.
Yeah.
So, there's that. But yeah, no, the Browns didn't capitalize on their last offensive possession. I think they ended, and it would be a 4th and 9, and that's pretty hard to go for there, especially given the fact that I think you netted 2 yards in the 2 previous plays you ran that possession, but just a huge miss from them.
Did you see the back-to-back drops from Nick Chubb?
Yeah.
Those were so bad.
Yeah, they were.
You cost your team. The second one was 100% going to be a first down.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I was honestly like, when they brought the punt team out on that 4th and 9, I was like, they're going to fake this motherfucker. Like, you got to fake this motherfucker. And they didn't. And I was like,
I think if you're going to fake it, you might as well just leave your offense on the field, honestly. Yeah, if you're going to fake it in that situation, just leave your offense.
No, I'm with you 100%, but like when I saw the punt team come on, I was like, all right, they have to be faking it. Like,
I mean, their defense had been playing all right. Their defense, I thought that they would get the ball back.
They did, but with the time on the clock, like where it was, because it was like under 5 minutes. Yeah, it was like under 5 minutes. It
was just under 5.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying that's not a lot of time, man. Like, it's not a lot of time. You gotta go for it. I feel like if you don't go for it, like, I mean, either which way, you're potentially giving up the game. So why wouldn't you?
For sure.
Sometimes the highest risk yields the highest reward, right? Like, that was just my thought process. Is like,
I guess
just be gutsy about it.
I don't completely disagree with what he did there, though. Their defense had been stopping the Chiefs the whole day, and then also you're not playing against Pat Mahomes anymore. You shouldn't have a problem, and I think that's why he did it. If Mahomes was still in the game, I think he might have. I think he might have went for it.
Yeah,
that's true. We could stop fucking Chad Henne, and then Chad Henne rolls out like he is Patrick Mahomes. Yeah, and dives forward for the first down.
Lamar Jackson rolls out. Oh, I mean, Chad Henne.
It's Chad Henne. It's 35-year-old Chad Henne.
Speaking of which, do you think that Mahomes is going to be in for the next game? I mean, I know he's concussed.
They called it it was a nerve issue, and they said he's going to be back. They didn't say he's going to be back, but people are speculating he will be.
Yeah, I think he's got a concussion, and they're just bullshitting and saying
he's in concussion protocol, so that he still has to pass those tests.
Yeah,
he was hurt before that, though.
Well, his ankle was hurt before that, but you could see him get up. He looked like he got a concussion.
Oh yeah, he looked like he just got knocked the fuck out.
He didn't know where the fuck he was.
Yeah, like he looked like a boxer getting up with like wobbly ass legs. Like he looked,
which is weird because that wasn't that bad of a hit. It
wasn't.
It wasn't a weird hit.
But he did have him like by the neck, and sometimes that can do some weird shit. So maybe,
and like they said, it was a nerve issue. So I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Kelsey was out there breaking ankles during this game, though. I mean, he broke Denzel Ward his ankles. He just snapped them in half.
Dude, on that first pass, I thought Kelsey's hands were broken from the fucking pass, like the touchdown reception.
Yeah.
It was so loud when it hit his hands. I was like, oh my God, that hit him in the chest. And then
Kelsey's so damn good.
Yeah,
he's just so damn good.
He's great.
But yeah, at the end of the day, the Chiefs were able to make it happen, and their defense did just enough, and their offense did just enough. And this is what I was saying. You know, they're winning close games all year long. That's not an accident. Like, because you can also be the Chargers and lose close games all year long.
Right.
But they didn't do that. They always won.
Good teams find ways to win the close games.
Yeah. Yep. And that's what good teams do. And like I said, their defense isn't great. But hey, Steve Spagnuolo has changed his defense because he took over Dennis Erickson 2 years ago. And pretty much when he got there and when Tyrann Mathieu got there, you saw a drastic change in defense for this team. And you just need to be good enough to stop someone when you absolutely need to. This Chiefs defense is good enough to stop someone when they absolutely need to.
Matthew had a pick in that game as well.
Yeah, he did. He almost had two. He almost had two because one went off of
it was off the hands.
Yeah, of number 80. Who the fuck is that? He was on my team the whole year. Yeah, Jarvis. So, Juice.
Also, weird stat. Jarvis Landry had 7 catches for only 20 yards.
Yeah,
it was a 2.8 average.
Yeah, he was like not there was. I think he had a bad drop at one point too, and I was like, "Oh yeah, boy, this is not going to be a good game." And it was really early on too. I think it was like in the first quarter.
It was the first quarter.
Yeah,
it was like right when I turned the game on.
Same. It was like exactly when I turned the game on. That's funny. We could get to the game that was really
Stone sweep.
So much fun to watch.
Stone sweep. We all called it.
Yeah, we did. Birdie's first payoff for his bold pick.
If you got that wrong, I was never on your side for pick. I was going to start the show by me going, all right, I have an announcement to make.
It was a good game. It was a really good game. And when they got that last interception, I was like in the middle of running, and I like stopped running and like jumped up in the air and did like a Mary Tyler Moore like fist pump and was like, fuck yeah. And then just like kept running. But it was great, man. It made me really happy to see the Bucs win.
Playoff Lenny. Big game.
Yeah. Fucking Big Cat was tweeting at fucking
Joe Buck
the whole game to call him Playoff Lenny, and then he straight up did it. He was like, "That should make you happy. You happy now, Big Cat?" Right after he said it, and it was so great. But yeah, no, Leonard Fournette came to play again. The Bucs look good, and their defense really came out to play.
Their defense played like they all had a fire under their fucking ass, especially Devin White and Sean Murphy Bunting. Like both of them were on the ball every play. If they hit somebody, they were over them talking. They were hyping up their teammates. They were patting people on the back when they weren't in the play. Like they were ideal teammates and great people to have on the field there, and they both made an impact. An INT for each, and Devin White had a fumble recovery.
Yeah, Winfield also played great. This Bucs secondary, which was really the most questionable part all year long, really showed up
top
to play.
10 in takeaways though.
Right, but everyone said that's the way to beat them.
For sure.
So, I mean, it was but yeah, Bucs came to play, man, and it was you see Brady take I think
the GOAT.
Yeah, I mean, he's undisputably even before this, but I mean, I think we all knew.
Yeah, we all knew that.
And we knew going into this game, it's so hard to beat an opponent 3 times. It's just unheard of. And you knew that Bruce Arians and Todd Bowles would look at the game plan, what didn't work, what did work, and would really come to task with something that would work against this. Also, we saw it again, and I can't emphasize it enough. An offensive line in this league is as good as gold because the whole problem
keeping Brady clean.
They keep the last 2 games. They kept him clean.
Yeah, man.
They had 11 hits on him the second matchup that they played. This matchup they had 3, and so it's a drastic difference.
Yeah, and you said it when we were doing the preview for it. You're like, as long as they keep Brady clean, they'll beat the Saints. And you were out. Like, I'm glad you brought it up because it was like the one thing I was gonna say. Like, you were 100% right. Like, they kept him clean, and it won them the game.
It's the only reason the Giants beat the Patriots, and the Eagles had this. It wasn't the only reason the Eagles beat us, but they had the same formula. The pass rush. If you get to Brady, that's how you beat him.
Yeah, front four pressure, you're good. Pressure up the middle, you're good, and that is the blueprint. And
Bucks offensive line is stopping that blueprint.
Yeah, and like I said, we saw it with that, and in the Bills game, I mean, the Bills offensive line kept Josh Allen clean, and you can say the same thing about the Bucks offensive line here. It kept him clean, and he made throws he had to make, and at the end of the day, Brees didn't. Brees didn't make throws he had to make. He had 3 interceptions for the first time since 2016.
He had throws to the other team.
Huh?
Said he had throws to the other team.
Yeah, completed 3 throws to the other team. So, like we said, Bucks defense coming up huge, had 3 interceptions. And yeah, they won.
They went out there and fucking beat them.
Yeah.
They won.
They won.
Brees needs to go.
Yeah, he's got to retire, man. It's time to hang it up.
It's time.
He like we said at the beginning before we got to the preview section, or not preview section, the recap section. He was the weak link. He was. He got you scared for a second.
I was like, it's time.
Oh my god, I never done notes. No, like I said, I think he was the weak link on this team. I mean, honestly, you could say that he was the part of this team that didn't work, and I think when that's the case, it's time for you to go. And
especially when that's the case, and your quarterback is 42.
Yeah, I mean, and not only that, but they don't have cap room, so they would have to bring him back a different number. He has a job lined up with NBC. I don't think there's any way he comes back. And I know it's hard to stop playing. Like, that's all you've done your whole life. But at the end of the day, like, you're just not that difference maker for your team anymore. You were for 20 years. You're not anymore.
All right, well.
Hey, real cool moment after that game with just Brady and Brees on the field after everyone had left, basically. They're just cleaning up the stadium. And they're just talking and chatting, and Brady threw a pass to one of Brees' kids. Just a cool moment.
Oh, that's so cute.
Yeah, I mean, there's got to be a mutual respect there.
Absolutely.
They've both done it for so long, and
they've been battling each other for so long.
It's just a conversation I would have loved to be.
Yeah,
a fly on the wall.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's awesome.
No kidding.
That's the stuff that makes me love sports, man. Is like stuff for like that. You know, it's awesome, man. All right,
it's what brings it back to at the end of the day that it's just fucking sports. It's the best.
Yeah, it's like mythical and legendary. It's like stuff like that, and like that Bo Jackson home run, and it's just shit like that like makes me all misty eyed and shit. Fucking love that.
The white Bronco.
God damn it! Leave it to double. All right, well, peace to Drew Brees. I think that's gonna do it for this this episode. Yeah, you got that way late. Thanks for listening to Stone Sports. We'll be back on Friday with a little preview of the up and coming games, and follow us. Follow us on all the social media. It's Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube. It's all Stone Sports Podcast. We're out of here. Say goodbye, boys. Peace. Lighters.